this is Liverpool. This is what Liverpool's supposed to be like, and we've seen a pale imitation, more so in the last 8 years, but predominantly for the last 30. But Liverpool, it's not a story, it's not a fairy tale. Liverpool in the big games in Europe, this is how it's supposed to be done.
I thought you were talking about us going a goal down inside 2 minutes. That's bloody typical, isn't it? You know, making it even more tense. And, I mean, it's Jimmy Traore all over again.
Yeah, that was recent Liverpool. The ultimate outcome was how Liverpool do things.
Yeah. I mean, we've been saying that, haven't we? You know, having a history in Europe, for some odd reason, seems to count. It's actually important. And it proved it last night, you know. I mean, you can have all your plastic flags and everything, you know, but it doesn't give you a history, does it?
No.
Single-use plastic, that's what it was.
It's true, isn't it? Can I just ask, because I spoke to my mum very briefly this morning, and she said, in 47 years of knowing your dad, I have never seen him dance around the living room quite like he did when Liverpool scored the goal. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Ross, you had ultimately the same experience, but a very different way of getting there. You were with the Man City fans, so you couldn't celebrate. What?
It was horrible. From start to finish. It wasn't instant regret, because obviously I wanted to see us live, do it or whatever happened, and kind of support the team from yourself. But just from the get-go, like, you know...
You support your team by sitting silently.
Well, no, mentally I was supporting him. I knew I was there.
He supported them by not celebrating Man City's goal.
He's singing LA in his head.
I tapped the seat when we scored. They knew. But just from the get-go, it's just weird when you experience, like, the week before and everything that we went through, and the coach greeting and the singing songs, like, an hour and a half before the match and whatever. And then, like you said, with the plastic flags and stuff, they're trying to force stuff. Yeah. And you just can't do it. You can try all you want. And even going a goal up, sorry, we went a goal down, took it on. And instantly, Liverpool fans are back singing, getting behind the team, like, you can do this. But as soon as we scored, it was dead. It was dead from nothing. They're not used to it. They don't know how to do it.
I think it's really interesting you talk about the build-up stuff. I think let's kind of start there. I agree. The way they force it is right, and I think that's why they took such umbrage with our coach greeting and the way that it went off the rails a little bit, Chris, is because they don't understand that it was just the whole thing was organic. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, people can point to us putting a graphic out, and people go do it all they want. People don't listen to us. You know what I mean? People turn up because it's how we do things. No one had to turn up for that. No one was being coerced into doing it. It genuinely wasn't an organised thing. It wasn't like people sat together in the pub. This wasn't like the foundation of Spirit of Shankly or the ownership protest.
We want to do this individually and collectively. That's what Liverpool fans want. We're not waiting for the club to turn around and go, oh, it'd be really good if he can turn up today. No, this is Europe, and Liverpool fans turn up, and I think it's great to see over the last sort of week now. I've seen on Twitter, like, troops talking about the passion of Liverpool fans. I've seen Tottenham fans talking about it, and everyone's looking around going, they're the most passionate fans in England, and they've known it their entire lives. Yeah. And now, because we've got a great team and we're doing well in Europe, they believe it because they've got social media, and social media is showing that Liverpool fans are the best in the bloody country.
Exactly, I totally agree. And I think what we saw, I remember, I used a quote to Chris last night. I remember you telling me about Americans and saying how Americans don't have culture, but they know culture. And I got a little bit of that from Man City. And as I say, the forcing of it, it's like someone's gone through a corporate identikit package of European football and gone, what do we like? What can we pick of that for ourselves? So it's the tifo and the flags.
They dressed the stadium up, what I could see. Yeah. You know, not just flags, but sort of ribbons and all sorts of things.
Yeah, they were going downstairs.
And then the announcer who announced the team coming onto the pitch, and I thought, that how weird is that?
Yeah. But they had him on working outside the ground. Did you see the bus greeting?
So their bus greeting was the bus pulling up and then someone reading their names as they got off the coach. And this is what I'm talking about. It's someone's gone, how can we do this?
Yeah.
rather than
Absolutely.
Liverpool don't have a hand in how we do this.
But that's what they announced and why it was so odd, because both teams come out together. Deliberately they come out together, you know, and they were announcing that City were entering the pitch, you know. It was really weird.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it, Ross? It's like, and that's what they are, and that's what the difference, and that's what they don't get, is that we, this isn't even necessarily our history, because the coach greeting thing's not necessarily, that's only a relatively recent thing. It's something that
It's a very modern thing, yeah, very modern.
That's not like a thing, you know, we do it for winning trophies, sure, you know, we'll line the street to Liverpool for coach greetings when they're bringing back a pot or whatever, but that sprung up since 13-14, really. But it sprung up because it was just something that Liverpool fans started to do, and that's the difference between us and Man City, isn't it? Is that they are trying to plug in some sort of European culture of flair to what they do, and it's just coming off really weird.
It doesn't come unless you win it.
Exactly.
You know, if they win it, then they'll start to be passionate about winning it again.
Well, Dad, you know what? That's why I like them doing the Poznan celebration, because that was their first major foray into Europe, and they took that from Lech Poznan, and I like that, you know, like we picked the LALA up off the Porto fans, you know what I mean, or whatever. You adopt European culture. It's like the Liverpool fans going and picking the trackies up on the way to European finals and all that kind of stuff. Adopting new culture
just
from
singing
Europe.
Campione from donkeys years ago. I mean, that's not even a word.
Allez les Rouges, you know what I mean, all this kind of stuff. Like, you know, it's.
I mean, City was summed up by the fact that they were in tears when they got beat by United. And it wasn't as if they'd lost the Premiership title because of it. They'd just lost the opportunity to beat United and win it at the same time. They're still going to win the Premiership, you know, in a couple of games' time. But there they were in tears. Yeah. And yet, I bet you boots them. There was no one in tears last night when they got knocked out of the European Cup.
No. It comes across as cheesy, doesn't it? Because even before the game, I had all that commentator stuff, but they had a montage of the goals with dance tunes behind it. We need that to G you up for a game, and
they might do this every game, Ross, but I think they do. But they played Blue Moon again at the start of the second half.
Yeah, I've not heard that. I've been to City away a few times,
and I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, the Anfield atmosphere for the first leg was lower in the second half than it was in the first half. And if they played You'll Never Walk Alone just before half time, maybe that would have beefed it up. But you don't do that. It's weird.
Here's the thing. It never occurred to me until this morning watching the highlights back. Everybody's focused on it as Manchester City want to create an atmosphere, and I think that's correct. But I think there's another sort of something else at work here. I think it's a branding exercise for the club. I think they're trying to get fans from outside of it, more fans, to be like, oh, this Manchester, look what they do. It's branding, and that's bad, because ours is organic, theirs is faked.
Well, this is the thing, like, don't get me wrong, sorry, Dan, that Liverpool do the mosaic thing, you know, and largely it's when we're commemorating something as a thing, you know, so when we've lost someone or on an anniversary of a major event or whatever, we'll do that. So it's not like Liverpool don't do something, but you're right, it's like it's like they've gone, someone sat in a boardroom and gone, oh my God, have you seen the tifos that St. Pauli have done, or the Bayern have done, or whatever, and they've gone, well, that we can make that an identifiable part of Manchester City. You're right, it's like they've gone, that'll go around the world, everyone will look at this, and everyone will go, and the people will go, oh my God, that looks great. People who don't go to football matches will go, that looks amazing. I want to be part of that next time. You're right, and it's fallen flat because you've got to win the game.
I think they're desperate to get their fans, you know, to be like us, that they love the Champions League, and they don't really care about it at the moment. I mean, they still boo the UEFA song, whatever it is, you know. They don't like the competition particularly. They're not interested in it. They're interested in the league. Whereas the owners, they're desperate for them to win the Champions